Okay, I am going to read the second part. This is annoying, I know. The second part of Ashley Morgan accusations and the second part of the video. Just like try not to do that because it's really annoying, but I'm going to do it. And if anybody wants to talk about Britney Spears, I can. So I have a lot of information on that, but I'll only do it if somebody asks because I made a video the other day, but like, we're not gonna talk about Manson. I am going, but the whole thing with Britney is very freaking important and is related. Trust me, this whole thing is related to mental health and how the media like just make their own stories and distortions and like I can see so many parallels between what's happening. Um, Pop star and rock star is not that much difference. But I'm not going to talk about Britney right now. If somebody wants to ask me, then I will answer your questions because I happen to know a lot, being humble that I am, a lot about mental health and what's going on with her and with anybody on that situation of a conservatorship. It's so, so dangerous. But I'm not going to talk about Britney right now. I'm just going to go on the second, unless you want me to, because I could. Um, yeah, I'm going to go on the second part of Ashley Morgan Smith line. I think that's what we have to call her from now on. I don't know why. I guess I Google it and there's like a bunch of Ashley Morgans, like Ashley Morgan, like dentists and lawyers and soccer players. I guess that's what she added the Smith line at the end. So, she's more special. But I'm just gonna say Ashley Morgan. I'm not gonna say Ashley Morgan Smith line because that's just too annoying for me to remember and to use it. It's annoying. So I found something new here. And this is really messed up. American songwriter. The American songwriter. I mean, this is like besides Metal Injection and Rolling Stones and People's Magazine and all that, that he gets just heat from actually serious publications too, and they put the gigantic picture of him and looking not great. When they pick the most, they pick those pictures. They don't pick the pictures that he looks okay. They pick the pictures that he looks just like he's about to eat somebody, and they always done that with him. So I'm not surprised. And really, like this weird journalism is insane because there's no fact checking whatsoever. So the title says fourth accuser Ashley Morgan Smith line sues Manson for sexual assault, and this is an AmericanSongwriter.com. I keep finding new things, and I know it's like the same case, but I'm finding new ways that they just keep treating him like he did it, and it's just, I mean, as funny as I want to laugh about it, it's pretty messed up. So these people say something extra that I didn't know. That I know they got it from reading the core files because I read them and I didn't see this. So anyway, Battle says Manson first contacted her during the summer of 2010. I have so many problems with the dates. You have no clue. The dates don't because he probably wanted to cast her in a film. I don't know this. I don't know why this wasn't on the original file that I read in May. And a film, a remake of 1993 crime drama True Romance. True Romance is one of my favorite movies of all time. So movie, not directed but produced by Quentin Tarantino with Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. I love that movie. And I know Manson is really into that type of movie too, but I never heard until this week now that he was going to make a remake of True Romance. I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's bullshit. Not bullshit that he said that to her. I think this is bullshit they're bringing it now because, the whole thing with Esme Bianco and the Alice in Wonderland project, that is a real thing. He talked about it. He's been talking about it for like, I don't know, 15 years, and he hasn't done it for one reason or the other. So that's something, the Alice in Wonderland thing is something that he's been around. He's been trying to fish for that. But remake of True Romance, I don't know why this is the first time that she says it. Like, this is a piece of information that will make him look really guilty if she actually said it back in May why she didn't. I really think she's making stuff up as she goes. Because when I read the file in May, it didn't say anything about him trying to cast her in a movie. They're doing this on purpose so he looks like a liar and like an asshole, right? I don't think that he was making a remake of True Romance. And if he was going to, I don't think that he was going to cast her on it. So I wish that she said this 2 months ago, but she didn't. That's what I'm saying. That it's like a little, they just keep adding a little bit of glitter on it until it's just a ball of glittery shit. But why? That is an important little detail there that is not on the original file, because I read it in the videos here, and everybody, a lot of people on YouTube read it, and that's not there. So I wonder why. Boy, I already answered my own question. So he said that she was perfect for the role. This is the first time I read this. The Manson was trying to make a remake of True Romance. I know that he's into that movie, but that's when I don't believe it. I don't believe that he said these things to Ashley. I don't believe it. But anyway, she's using it on the same token that Esme Bianco is using the whole, oh, he flew me here on the context of shooting a movie with me, and then he lied to me, he abused me instead. So they're trying to make it. Now he was doing Alice in Wonderland movie based on Lewis Carroll, Alice in Wonderland writer, and now he's doing True Romance, and now they're all jumping in the same boat that he flew me here for a job and that he didn't give me the job. I think that's bullshit. I think with Esme Bianco, maybe he said something like that, but with this one, I don't think he did, and this is why she didn't say anything until now. That is a good point. If this was true, it's a good point that she could have made in May, but she didn't. Anyway, so they make it sound like, the false pretense of making a movie. It makes him sound more shady and more dirty and more like the guy's like sitting around with this big plot of how he's going to get these girls from different states and different countries to abuse them and use them. Like he's like the master of the universe, and he can control the FBI. He can control immigration and airports. I don't know. It's really out of these people are out of it. I don't mean out of it on drugs. I mean out of it, not in contact with reality, because she is so delusional that she thinks she's gonna be the main girl in a movie like True Romance. That she's insane. Anyway, so I don't think this was an offer. I think it's BS. But let's just go with it. Let's pretend it's real. Saying she was a perfect girl for him, Manson allegedly flew Smith Line, who was living and working in Bangkok at the time, to LA in November 2020. November 2010, and soon asked her to move in with him. According to the lawsuit in the suit, Smith Line says that Warner encouragement to move to LA with the promise of work violates the Trafficking Victim Protection Act. She is evil, because this is like adding more to it. So because she wants damages, right, which is cash, emotional distress, damages for sexual assault. Okay, all that stuff that she's been talking about. But now she's adding the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. And the only way she can add this is if she says something like, of giving me a job, and he didn't give it to me because she was in Bangkok. This girl is from California. She's from Calabasas. She said it on her interview, and I know she is from California. So even if she was working in Thailand, and he said, well, you can just I flew you over so we can work on something. I do not think it was True Romance. There's no way. We're going to work on a music video or whatever. It's still, she's an American girl that he flew back to California, where she's from. I mean, that to me doesn't sound like trafficking, but I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But I know that it's BS. I smell it a miles away, because for some reason I've been reading everything that comes from this case, especially from her. And this is the first time that I read the True Romance. She wants he wants her in the movie. She is like nobody, honestly. I mean, I don't want to be cruel, but the way that works in this business is like, dude, I live here. I know how it is. Like they're not gonna cast a nobody. I'm sorry. I know I'm being cruel, but she's nobody. Oh, well, now she is. She was nobody, and she was a model. that was modeling, which I'm not saying being a model is not a job. I'm saying she was not an actress. So why Manson is going to say, well, you're perfect for the main role in a movie like True Romance, a remake of True Romance, and flew her from Bangkok. Okay, she's just making this up among the other stuff that she's making it up, so she can sue him for human trafficking, because they know that that is going to be impossible to prove, for him, impossible to prove that he didn't do that, because there are going to be records of him maybe sending messages and saying, hey, why don't you just come over? But that doesn't mean that he human trafficked her. And she bringing a girl from California to California, where her family lives here, is it that? I mean, that could just be a favor. That can just be looked as like, oh, well, just a shortcut, just getting you a ticket so you can just come to California, where you're from and where you were born, which is here, not in Bangkok, in Thailand. If anything, I don't know who sent her to Thailand, but whatever that person is trafficking her, not Manson. I think this is very strange that she add to the sexual assault and the emotional distress and all that, and the unpaid labor. She added this. First time I hear that Manson wanted to make a remake of True Romance. No, and I've been just following this thing since it started. She added this. This is from 2 days ago. She added this. She told it this, so it can sound worse. Like he promised her this job, and then she got here, and he just whipped her, beat her up. This makes him sound even worse than before. But he already looked bad, but now worse. Let's add the human trafficking thing on it. I know Esme Bianco said that human trafficking, and with her, she's from the UK, so him bringing her here, I don't think she has a point, but I'm saying it kind of sounds more shady. But this girl from California, Manson is bringing her back to California, where she's from and where her parents live. So I'm just saying, it's kind of weird. That's not trafficking. I don't know what that is. That to me is like, it's a favor. My God, what are they shooting? Still shooting fireworks? That's crazy. To me, that's a favor. That's like, or it's like a hook. It's a hookup thing. And I don't know what he says. We don't know what he's saying, but his lawyer, which is his voice right now, saying that they were together for 2 weeks, not 2 years, like she said. So if she's lying about the time they were together, she's gonna lie about everything. I mean, it's just like, this counts as like her memory is either messed up, or she's gonna probably say that it's because she takes medication, or she's traumatized, so that's why she doesn't remember things. I can totally just see the next episode of this thing that she might just try to pull something like that off, saying that because of the trauma, she just doesn't remember. Because somebody's gonna say, hey, he was with Evan in those dates, or he was already with Lindsay, his future wife, in that month of the year. And it's really, he wasn't with her for more than a hookup, a couple of weekends. Which I'm not saying that you can abuse somebody in a weekend. Yes, you can. But in this case, I just don't think that. I don't think he did. And the fact that she added the movie to it, let's make a movie together. I don't know. She's just trying to imitate what Esme Bianco did. It's like this all copy and paste. We know that. But this is like crazy. There's so much copy and paste. Like Esme Bianco said the thing about the movie. Now this one is saying the thing about the movie. She says she felt like he was being trafficked because she's from the UK. So he flew her here. This one is not. This one is from California. So even if he flew her here back to California and kind of save her money. I don't know. That's not trafficking because she is from here. So I don't know. Under the pretense of a fake project. So that this makes him look even more of a liar and more of a shitty person. He's going around telling girls, I'm going to put you in this movie. And then he's lying to them. This is like, it's not the worst thing you can do to somebody, I guess. Sexual assault is the worst, but this is just to add to the character they want you to believe that he is. And it's more propaganda, it's more media bullshit. Anyway, So Brian Warner knew these offers to be fraudulent and fake. No effort was made to complete production of the film. Yeah, it never existed because she made it up anyway. To this date, or nothing from that project has been published. Mr. Warner merely used the film project as a pretense to lure Ashley to the United States. No, I don't think so. And lure her back into where she's from. It's just, I mean, is anybody's like an expert on human trafficking can tell me if that's really considered it? It's not. So I don't think the movie existed. I don't think he said, "You're perfect for my movie." I don't know why he will pick people that don't even live here, and they don't have any acting experience at all for something so important like a remake of a true romance movie from the 90s. There's no way. There's no way. He knows so many actors and so many models and so many people here. He doesn't have to go find them in Thailand. That this is what I don't believe it. I just don't. The more she adds to it, she should just have kept it smaller. And I'm not saying I will believe it, but it will be more believable. But the more they add to it, it's just making it. He's this big, mapster, and he just controls everything. He controls the media, Hollywood, the movies, the immigration, everything, hotel rooms, airports, everything. So this is more to it, and it's this in AmericanSongwriter.com, which is really sad that they feature him on this, like, because this is a serious publication. It's not like Star Magazine or some crap like that. So it's sad. They already act like he already did it. That's what gets me about this whole thing. It's like they're not even acting as a, well, maybe, like 50-50. They're publishing, and their words they're using is like, well, he did it. Just the same with the View interview when Whoopi Goldberg, of all people, she's so annoying. She was like, well, Ashley, I'm sorry you have to go through that. You can't say that. You can't say that yet. You need to say that after the court. Whatever happens in the court, we don't know. And maybe I'm wrong, been wrong this whole time. But wow, you say like, oh, I'm sorry you've been through that. They're just saying that so then people can get more convinced. The idiots are watching The View, because that show is for idiots, for just women that had nothing to do in the morning but cook, their freaking lunch while watching TV, and they watch The View. So they believe it. They believe what Whoopi Goldberg is saying to them. Of course, because, why would she lie to you, right? Why will The View lie to you? It's like, it's ABC. Everybody says something, they're just like, somebody's going to say, but that's national television. You know how people are here. That's what they're going to say. They don't lie to us. I don't know. I think it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay they're giving some of these girls, women, a space to talk about this thing. I mean, like, everybody is free to complain and to file court papers, and I can do that tomorrow and blame him for my whole life. Everybody's free to do that. But to act like he already did it, it's just really messed up. It really is. I need to charge my computer or it's going to die in the middle of this thing. So excuse me, I know I'm messy. My hair is a mess. It's really humid outside. So it'll be like, it's just almost raining. Almost. Not quite yet. So this whole new pretense of a movie, I knew that with Esme. I didn't know this one was going to claim the same crap. So then Smith Line, who entered into consensual sexual relationship with Warner and continued to see him through January of 2013. Oh, no. See, they're adding things to it. What she said was to 2010. That's it. Now it's from 2010 to 2013. That's 3 years of his life. He was not, he was like 10 girls in like a year. We know that everybody knows. You don't have to know him in person, but for what we know about him and his interviews and how many times he was married, once plus this time that he's married now. And he was engaged with Rose McGowan, didn't marry her, but he was with her for like a chunk of time. Then he was with Dita for a chunk of time, and now he's with Lindsay for a chunk of time. This is not a guy this is a guy who likes to be with one person. That's kind of how the feel I get from him. And maybe everybody has, a break, a moment that, oh, we're in a break and we're just going to go fool around with somebody. But so many women, like in that span of time, is really strange. I don't know why she changed it to 2013 now. I mean, I've been following this and I never, this is the two things I haven't read yet. I read the first lawsuit from May, and in May, the one in May, from May, she didn't say anything about 2013, and she didn't say anything about the movie True Romance, a remake. And he wanted her to be the main girl in the movie. Like, wow, like why? No, why would he do that? No. The fact that they said the movie was not made because the movie never existed. But in the case with Esme Bianco, they said the movie wasn't made, so it was a pretense. The movies are not made here just because Manson wants to make a movie. There's so much. It's a big machine that has to roll on one direction. You have to find producers and screenwriters, and it's not so easy. There's plenty of interviews of Manson talking about the Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland movie. He's been talking about that since he was married to Dita. So it's not a pretense. I think he really wanted to make it, and for X reason, he hasn't, and it sucks because it would be interesting, but he hasn't. But I don't see that as some luring, as a pretense excuse. It's not. True romance movie? No, I don't think so. She's so delusional. Why would you want to put her to play the character on the main girl in that movie? Like why? So now she's put in 2010 to 2013. This is crazy. Like she says on and off. Yeah, it's very easy when you add the words on and off. You're pretty much leaving everything there to on and off. So you can just say any nonsense that you want, that is gonna go right on the idea of on and off. Oh yeah, more of the lingerie, to wear underwear around the house and makeup around the apartment. Then claims that she once woke from an unconscious state, bound her wrists and ankles with Warner penetrating her. I'm sorry I didn't do a disclaimer on this. It's pretty disturbing, but I don't think it happened. But it's disturbing to even just to read it. It's just, I won't say annoying. It's disturbing because this actually does happen to people. That's what it makes me mad about this women and girls and whatever, because this stuff happens like all the time. It's happening right now to somebody. So using something like this, for your own gains, you can get damages and money is it's pretty messed up. I'm trying to find a video. That's what I'm looking down. Anyway, I'm just looking down on the thing so I can find the video, because if I play from the computer, it has horrible sound. Tammy, are you there? Because Tammy's always watching. If you're there, say hi. I don't know if the chat is open or not. Is it? Okay, I find it. Oh, okay. This is going to be hard to just do it all over again. Anyway, so now she's saying 2013, and now she's saying she was going to be the main girl on the movie True Romance. I never heard anything more stupid. Well, I heard stuff that is more stupid, but that's probably the most stupid things I heard this week. So anyway, more of that. I said she didn't break the relationship because Warner was threatening her life and to ruin her career with the provocative photos he had of her again. Copy and paste again. Remember what Evan Richard Wood said on the Phoenix Act testimony, that he took pictures of her with the Nazi paraphernalia, which, yes, she took those pictures of herself very willingly and happy, but those pictures are out there. And he was going to use that to blackmail her. Okay, then Esme said the same thing, and now this one is saying the same thing now. This was not on the file in the month of May. Why is she adding things to it? She's adding things to it because she noticed, probably not YouTube channels, but maybe YouTube channels and other people go like, oh, this doesn't really sound right. It sounds like bullshit. So she keep adding to it. She added 2013. She added the movie True Romance, and now she added that he said he's gonna ruin her career. 3 additional lawsuits were filed against her, including those with assistant Ashley Walters, Game of Thrones, Esme Bianco, because she didn't do anything else before or after. Sorry, I can't stand Esme. From all the chicks, Esme's like gets on my nerves the most. And another woman who just to remain anonymous. Yeah, okay. Westworld actress. Girl, I mean, they're just putting everything in one. This is how they're like. They want you to swallow this whole thing whole, like a big load of BS. They put all the names of all the girls in one article. So the sense you get is like, well, I don't have to do any research, and I don't have to go around reading anything because it's all here. Look, it's all here. All the names, all the accusations. So then you just believe it. I mean, I don't, but some people are going to believe it just because they are all in one article. And it's the same then the idiots from The View TV show going like, I am so sorry, have to go through that. That is very dangerous. Not only to do it to Marilyn Manson, do it to anybody. Just already take for granted the person committed the crime. And saying to the victim, supposedly, I'm sorry you went through that. You can't say that. You can say that off camera. You can't say that on TV. She did. I mean, I never liked that show anyway, but I always thought it was just for idiots. But anyhow, whoever watches The View doesn't even have a brain anyway, but less than a brain now. If you believe, because Whoopi Goldberg said it, like she's a lawyer or something. Anyway, so, and now they're talking about detail. They're putting everything in one. This is AmericanSongwriter.com if you're going to look it up, whatever. They put everything in one article, so it just hits you more. They did the same with Michael Jackson. I remember back in the day. They would put everything in one article, even if things are separated from like 5-10 years apart, the accusations. They put everything in one article. So it just sounds, really bad, which it is bad, but it sounds even worse. Yeah, this American Songwriter. It's horrible. This big picture of him. They try to paint him and not in a good light. They're picking the worst pictures of the guy they can find out there. There's good pictures of him, and there's so pictures of him, and there's really bad ones of him. Like they're picking the bad ones. And that's how they do stuff. This is exactly how they do things. And this is what they did in the 90s with him and with other musicians and directors. And so that when they start the witch hunt, it doesn't stop. And this is just the beginning. I feel like they're just going to keep going. I don't know what they want him to do at this point. Well, they'll be happy until he just like erupts like a volcano and does something crazy. I hope not. Okay, so this is what she said on the View. I can't believe she went on the ABC. Yes, it's like, oh, it was on ABC. It has to be true because it was on ABC, right? Has to be. It was on ABC. Like, come on. Sorry. Oh, you know what? It's going to have ads, and I am not going to go for that. What is giving me like a precedent thing, ad thingy? No. No. And pictures of him, like the most horrible pictures they can find. Like he's on stage all sweaty, that he has really cool pictures that he did with professional photographers. They're not going to post those. They post like just the most, like seriously. Okay. I am trying to play the video. I'm sorry. I had it already here, but now I won't play because now they just ads keep popping. I mean, this stuff is free to read it, but so many ads, it's just annoying. It really is. Maybe I just have to link on something. I just don't want to open YouTube all over again because it's going to start glitching. Okay. Because I already did this a couple of days ago, but I did the first part. I want to do the second part that just kind of like pick up her brain if there's any left a little bit more. And I don't know if it's gonna work because I had so many tabs open, and I'm so tired because I just got back. Okay, I still haven't unpacked my stuff. I just got back. honestly, literally. I've been human trafficked all over the world for work. For me, I'm sorry, and that's not a good joke, but I can't stand these people anymore. Excuse me. All right. I'm gonna have to play with my phone. My good old phone is actually better than this overly priced, expensive computer that is not doing nothing that I want her to do. Okay, so what we have on her from the People's Cover Story, People's Magazine, the People Online, whatever the hell. That I will say, if you actually are on this case and you supporting him, you should unsubscribe. I mean, you should. I don't like saying you could unsubscribe from all these people because anybody who is doing this circus, who's part of it, is not getting my sympathy. I'm sorry, from Rolling Stones to Metal Injection to People's to Star Magazine to like you will think the tabloids are always there and they always been crappy. Tabloids are the tabloids, but then then something like People's Magazines, that's like the real. At the same time, People Magazine is the people that put that put what's her face, Amber Heard with the fake Bruce right on the cover. And remember that it says something like "My Life with Johnny" or something like that. And then this one was Ashley Morgan was on the cover too. I Survive a Monster. So it seems like they just don't do any fact checking or anything. Like it's just anyway. So let's hear the second part of it. So I already did the first part, then it's really hard to listen to her.
Assistant, who's a friend of mine, still Ashley, and we were looking to go. It's gonna get bad, like as soon as everyone starts leaving, he turns up.
Wait, hold on. Now she's adding Ashley to it. Ashley Walters. They're. I'm gonna give it to them. They're being smart. They're not smart with the accusations, but they're being smart about the way they're going through it, like adding more names to it. Like every month they add a new name, and then they have like this chunk email that they did where they send it to everybody, trying to recruit the girls. But then the accusations are not really smart because they're so over the top, and then that's what I don't believe in. There's a lot of people don't believe it. It's not just assault, and it's not just he did this a couple times. It's just this. My God, I mean, it's so over the top. Like that's what is really hard for me to believe this. I mean, it's just and who are these people? They're actresses. I mean, like if somebody comes out, a person that works, in a hospital or even a makeup artist that works on set with him, somebody like that will come out and say something about him. Maybe I listen. But the fact that these girls are they're either actresses or models, they got something to gain from it, it's very hard for me to just believe it because they're not regular people. And don't give me the whole, oh, but they look so upset, they cry. Yeah, the actresses. So that's their job is to look upset, if they want to. So I'm going to do the second part. I'm not going to go back to the first part.
Because we were shooting all the time our movie or the music video or whatever.
You see right there? See right there? She said we're shooting a music video of a movie or whatever. Okay, that doesn't sound like what she put in here. What she put on this what she's saying on the AmericanSongwriter.com is that for sure he wanted to cast her on the remake of the movie True Romance from the 90s. And she was going to be the main girl in True Romance, in a remake of True Romance. Okay, that's what she's saying now, okay? But in May, she said this, movie, music video, or whatever. Like, the whatever, if it's something that you were human trafficked to do, like she's saying, that she was human trafficked to do the True Romance movie, will you not remember what it is? Will you just say whatever?
Yes. As people started to trickle out, I was always like looking to his assistant, who's a friend of mine, still Ashley, and we were looking to go. It's gonna get bad, like as soon as everyone starts leaving, he turns off the charm.
Hi, Tammy.
Monster would come out.
The alleged physical and sexual abuse began soon after Ashley and Manson
Hold on.
met in
Tammy, you there? I want to
Manson
ask you
claims
something.
his
Did you read? Well, you were here when I was
The LA
talking
County
about.
Sheriff's Department confirms it's investigating singer Marilyn Manson. The department says it's looking into domestic abuse claims made by several women between 2009 and 2011 when Manson lived in West Hollywood.
I don't know why it keeps just playing like wait 20 minutes after I pause it. Okay. So, no, what's happening is that now she's changing the tune all over again. I was talking to Tammy if she's there. She's saying that 2010 to 2013. Like, why that movie? He talked about that movie before and about how much that movie and different movies from the 90s, like Pulp Fiction and all that. He never said that he wanted to read. That's not the people that to it. So that makes him look more of a liar, more, and what happened to just going through an agency and hiring an actress, a real one? If he's gonna come out of this somehow. And if he ever makes this type of movies that we're talking about, he's gonna do it like that. He's not gonna just get on Facebook and start messaging girls that live out of state, that live out of the country. Oh, and the one thing, Tammy, what you were here when I was saying that how can you human traffic somebody, bring them back to their hometown? Because she was in Bangkok and she's from Calabasas, California. And she said it, so she can't say that she's not. It's the same. It's different with Esme Bianco because Esme Bianco being here with no visa and being at the mercy of Manson is kind of what she's trying to make it sound like. But this girl is from California. Her family is in California. So pretty much he just flew her back home. That's kind of how I see it. So yeah, it's annoying to listen to her interview. I know. But, and Tammy, don't pay attention to my dress, my dress, my hair. It's been raining a lot. It's all over the damn place. Anyway.
But relationships have always been entirely consensual. According to Ashley, the rapes became too frequent to count.
Countless. I mean, it was from 2010 to 2012. I can't.
She said right there, 2010 to 2012. And this new thing she did a couple weeks ago, she said 2013. Oh, Manson has been with Lindsay on and off for a while. And that's kind of something that he does. The on and off, he has those type of relationships on and off. You don't know the person is the one until, Evan blames her from Evan agreeing back with Manson. Yeah, Evan hates Lindsay. Everybody hates Lindsay because Lindsay got the guy, There are paparazzi videos of Lindsay and Manson in Hollywood walking around. The person who is opening the elevator and in the car, the door of the car, guess who is? Ashley Walters. And these paparazzi videos are from 2010, some of them from 2011. Manson and Lindsay were going up and down. They've been, when she posted the thing on Instagram after they got married, she said that they've been together for 10 years. So that will be 10 years. That will be from 2011 to 2020. So the thing is, they were being on and off. And that's, I think between those times that he was not with her, maybe he hooked up with this girl a couple times, but that's it. They make it sound like he just was so involved with them. I think in the back of his head, he was just taking a break and then going back with Lindsay, which is what he ended up doing for the last 10 years. My hair is all over, but it's still beautiful. Yeah, it's all over. If I put this down, you don't want to know. I love my current scrunchie. You don't want to know. Because it's raining, and when it rains, it loses control completely. Yeah, now she's saying 2013. Don't you think it's funny? No, Manson has been with Lisa since 2011 to now, but with a couple like little difficulties, like everybody, I mean, come on, who hasn't had like a break we're in a break and then you do something kind of naughty and then you're like, oh shoot, and then we go back to the person you're in love with. But during that break, maybe you hook up with somebody. I think that's what's happening here. That's exactly why I just said aloud like an epiphany. I think that's exactly what's happening here. I think that he hooked up with her a couple times, and they went back to the person he loves, and that's it. And that's why they're all mad. They're mad because she got the dude, like, I mean, he's a good dude to get, I guess.
I mean, between 20 and 300, I don't know. It just got more and more violent as time went
You
on.
get raped between 20 and 200. I can't say that with a straight face. Yeah, well, I'm trying to get a good timeline. Yes, exactly. It's that's the problem. It's like he never has. Rose McGowan never said anything bad about him. Never said anything bad about him on her book. If she has some type of bombshell, Rose McGowan is the face of uh, newest, the latest feminism. She's the face of Me Too. Don't you think that if she has some bombshell about him, she would have dropped it already? She has no bombshells because nothing happened. So he wasn't abusive with her. He was not abusive with Dita. So he became this monster in 2009, all the way into 2013. And then he got normal again. That's what I always say. That's what it doesn't make any sense. That's not how psychologically criminals work. It's not you snap and then you stay snapped. Like you're not going to just go back to be a nice guy. That's really weird. That's why it's hard for me to believe this whole thing. At the time, the only way to do the timeline is to go and look at the paparazzi videos. TMZ is actually it's going to work in our favor for once, because there's a bunch of TMZ videos and month and year, and it's right there. And a lot of these videos, the assistant is Ashley, and the person who he's hanging out with is Lindsay, not this one. So I don't know if it was just like behind closed doors. He was like going to the movies with Lindsay, but he was with this one at the same time. No way. I just don't believe it. There's no way. Yeah, he became a crazy rapist for only 3 years. Yeah. I know people don't like Rose McGowan, and I always defend her because I know how well intended she was, and I know what happened to her was really a big freaking deal, and I know that what happened to her is real because I know that. I'm not gonna say why, but I know it. So I also know that she loves controversy, and she loves, having like a little pause on everything. So if she had a big story about him, she would already say something, if she hasn't. Another person is Ashley Argento, which is an Italian actress. I actually really like her. She's really good buddies with Rose McGowan, and she's the second face of Me Too. And Ashley Argento, she still follows Marilyn Manson on Instagram, and she's still a friend. But she's doing like little messages without saying much. Like she posted on her story the other day a picture of her looking at the mirror with a Manson song in the background. And like, I think that's like her way of supporting him, I guess. She did not unfollow him like all the other fakers did. Her name is Asia. I can say it wrong. Asia Argento. I'm just like write it down in here. Look it up. She's really cool. She's friends with a lot of people, and she's been friends with Marilyn Manson for 15 years. She has not unfollowed him. And she is a Me Too movement actress. One of the in the big group, the first group, before they got all crazy. You can see her activist. She's one of the ones that got against Harvey Weinstein and got him down, which I'm glad. Her and Rose. So why these people are so anti-assault? Well, all of us are, and they're trying to get the guys down, and just trying to make a change and trying to make a difference. And why not give a bombshell on him? If you know the guy for 15 years, that's somebody who knows him. Rose manipulated, and it was still, yeah. Rose is not being herself. No, she has a whole chapter in her book talking about how he made her feel safe, And after the rape, he was the one person that he made her feel safe, that he was always sticking up for her. I mean, really, seriously, that's the story. Yeah, look it up, Asia Argento, and you see she's buddies with Rose and with Manson at the same time. That's a very strange thing, isn't it? Um, and she's one of the people that acted against Harvey Weinstein the most, along with Rose. But she's Italian. She makes movies in the U.S. too, like everybody. But she's Italian, lives in Italy, and she's one of the few people. I think she's the first one that did that big speech in Cannes Festival when she talked about Harvey Weinstein and people, and they couldn't stop her because it was a live show. This Argento person I'm talking about, and people were like this. I look at each other because she was giving it to them right there from the stage, and she named him to say Harvey Weinstein, and that's the person who was best friends with Manson. It did not unfollow him. And she posts like Marilyn Manson songs in her story and on Instagram. So, come on, you know. Just keep going with this BS.
He didn't hit my face. Like he I was a model at the job. He didn't hit my face. He definitely cut my inside of my thighs, my inside of my elbows, my outer thighs have his initials carved into.
What is it? You guys know what is the inside of the elbow? What is it? I don't want to take my shirt off. What is the inside of an elbow? So this is your elbow. What's the inside of the elbow? Here? Like where the veins are? What is the inside of the elbow? Can you pretty much tell me I'm going crazy with this? I heard this a bunch of times that I never heard the part about the inside. Okay, so this is the elbow, right? Elbow. Where's the inside of the elbow? This? I'm look like an idiot. I know, but now I'm burning with curiosity. So this is the elbow. Use my skin. So the inside of the elbow is this? Like where the veins are? Where you be like shooting up things? He hit her here? She just says things without even thinking how it's going to land. Like if you want people to believe you, if you really want people to believe you, you would just kind of practice what you're going to say and just be like, okay, wait, this makes sense. And then just be a better liar, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't want anybody to lie, but if you're going to, and then change the story, go from I told you, she just added 2013 to the mix. In this thing in May, People's Magazine should say 2010 to 2012. So you just don't remember? So he raped you for another year and you just forgot. You forgot. How can you forget? How can you forget being assaulted? Just honestly, how?
Into them, he cut my lower stomach and he made it very clear that I was replaceable, that I was vulnerable, that I was extinguishable, that he could kill me at any moment. And he would remind me when I was tied up or when I was whatever, that I could kill you at any time. At one point I brought up, do you want me to kill myself? Do you want me to kill myself? So he decided it was a good idea to show me clips of different suicide scenes from movies. And I've asked the other girls that I've spoken to, the victims of him, what do you think his objective was? And we all agreed that we think that he honestly wanted us all to kill ourselves, and that's a serial killer, no?
According to Ashley, Manson
wait.
also...
Did you get that? He wants all of us to kill ourselves, and that's a serial killer, huh? No, that's not a serial killer, Ashley. But you can call it a predator, you can call him a rapist. That's not a serial killer. That's just so dumb. I know, but I studied that. A person who tortures the crap out of you and wants you to kill yourself is gaslighting you, is a narcissist, is abusing you, is not a serial killer. Even if you use the K word, I don't want to use that word. Let's say end your own life. Like, right? You're with this guy and you're like, I'm being mistreated so bad. This guy's driving me crazy. Maybe he wants me to end my life because I don't want to say kill. It's still, that person is not a serial killer. That person is just a person who's abusing you. You make that choice if you're going to end your life or not. I don't want to be unsensed. Like, I don't want to be cruel, but if you end your life, you end your life. You can't just blame it on a freaking rock star. Like, seriously, it's just like you can say a lot of the reasons. Maybe you were not on the right meds. Maybe you didn't have a good support system. Maybe your parents suck. There's a lot of reasons you can end your life, but it cannot just be because you got a kind of a rough weekend with one dude. I mean, seriously. Yeah, it's I can't believe that she's. Oh yeah, that's a serial killer. A serial killer because he's beating you up, not beating you up, but tying you up. That's not a serial killer. As many times as she wants us to believe it, that's not. It's not. If you choose to end your own life, that is going to be on you. You just can't, especially when you're not a child. If you're a teenager or whatever, we can agree that a lot of situations can lead you to that. A lot of. It's really sad. A lot of kids kill themselves. A lot. People don't know that. People think only adults kill them, but a lot of kids do it. And that's usually 90% fault of the parents and the schools and the bullying. But this chick, she was like 30 years old when she was with him. I am not going to believe that if you hurt yourself, self-harm, or end your life, it's because of the boyfriend. Like, I don't. That's just insulting to me that she even said that.
Lock her inside a small soundproof room for extended periods of time.
So
The recording studio.
It's like, it was bigger than a phone booth. You could like stretch out. It wasn't like cramped or anything. But you were definitely put in there like on timeout if he had people over and you were annoying him. Like, he thought he would. I don't know what he thought.
Oh,
I can't imagine.
You don't know.
What a sociopath thinks. He'd say things all the time like, you would just love to piss me off. So when I was pissing him off, like if I had to go pee while he was replaying one of his songs I'd heard 30,000 times, I'd go.
Okay, did you notice the arrogance? Like, like a song that he was playing for me 30,000 times. Like, if you're going to be a psychopath, at least be original. The way she said on the first part of this, and I'm not going to go back to it. She's so cocky about it. And like, if you really got hurt by this guy, even not physically hurt, but even emotionally, if you're really still so sad, you're not going to be so arrogant. You're just not going to be. You can just be numb, maybe. That's kind of probably what I will do. Or you be like sobbing on the floor and be a sobbing mess, like Esme Bianco, and take pictures of yourself crying and put them on Instagram. Or you can be numb to it, but you won't be so arrogant. She is an arrogant little girl, seriously. Like, she's talking like a little teenager. Like, I mean, like, just the way she talks about him doesn't sound like from somebody who she is scared of her own life. But when she's like, oh, well, every time I annoy him, like when I really didn't want to listen to the same song 30,000 times, there's something on the tone that is it's not a rock star story. It's a story about corruption in both the media and our legal system. Is about innocence being destroyed. Yeah. And isn't it? It's the same to Britney, isn't it? I mean, it's so weird, but I relate it so much in my own head. I'm not going to make a video right now about Britney, but it's all about the distortion. They're going to make you believe it. And I like that there's a lot of people that don't believe it. But now that she was on ABC and The View, don't watch The View ever again. I don't think you're the type of person who watches The View, but don't. And Whoopi Goldberg can kiss my butt. Like, seriously, I can't stand people like that. I mean, I liked her before. Now I don't anymore. I'm not watching 1 minute of any of that. That's what I'm not going to play it on my computer. I mean, this is YouTube on my phone, so that's fine because I like YouTube, but I'm not playing from ABC. They're full of it. I mean, I understand that they have to listen to the story. Okay, just listen to the story and put it there on your show. But the moment that you asking the person who you're interviewing, or you're saying to this person, this girl or whoever, I'm so sorry you have to go through that. That is really dangerous that she said that. That's really, I mean, like, he can literally just sue that person for defamation right there. Why would you say that? He's not even in there. There's no court date yet. There's no court hearing. There's no, when is happening? When is happening? Like, just saying to somebody, I'm so sorry you have to go through that, when there's not even when he hasn't even spoke out yet. So how can you say already, just like taking for granted, just at face value, just because a woman is saying it? And as a woman who's an actress and a model, mind you, it's not the housekeeper, right? It's not a nurse. It's not just a regular, homemaker or single mother. No, or it's either actress or models or both. I mean, Simona. Yes, it's completely corrupted. I know it is, but I don't know how he's gonna go around it, because these people seem to.
Like, it was like a timeout punishment space.
The other girls I talked
I think
to.
sometimes he forgot I was there because he was so drugged out or drunk or whatever. I think the longest I spent in there was maybe 6+ hours, which is like isolation like that isn't natural. It's not normal.
6 hours is not. It's not isolation, Ashley.
There was so much abuse. There was
6 hours is not isolation. It's just 6 hours.
Him just even shoving his fist in my mouth, like they could have killed me. Putting a pillow in my face a little too long. Like, I was afraid for my life every single moment I was with him, but more I was afraid that he was going to get rid of me and find someone else. And that's really sick. Like, it's very brainwashed.
I agree. That's very psychological. That's a mind fuck right there. She was not afraid of him ending her life. I can't say the K word anymore. I'm going to get in trouble. But she was afraid of him ending her life and finding somebody else. How sick is that? I think right there is where actually the real, if you just listen to it again, that's the real nugget right there. That's why this whole case is based on him finding somebody else. Which he did finally found somebody else and marry her. Did you just hear what she just said? She was afraid of him ending her, but mostly she was afraid of him ending her and finding somebody else. She totally showed her true colors right there. She's so dumb. Why would you say that in an interview? It's gonna just make you look weak. It's gonna make you look like you're in love with a guy.
Feel loved. If I have to hurt for you to feel loved and cared about, that's okay. Like, who says that? Like, who thinks that way? Who thinks that low of themselves? And I was just afraid. I was afraid if I didn't push it as far as he wanted, that he'd find someone who would.
There you go again.
I didn't know what BDSM was, and a lot of people are like, you knowingly entered into a BDSM relationship. Like, I don't know what that is now, even. And I've seen like 50 Shades of Grey. Like, I didn't know what that was.
I don't.
Like, he didn't say, like, we're going to have a relationship where you're going to kneel down or lay on the bed and I'm going to whip you with a swat.
I think he did say that to you.
While we're having sex, or we're going to have a blood pact. I'm going to drink your blood. You're going to drink mine. I didn't know, like, I mean, obviously I knew that was weird, but there was something, like, I was already taken. I was already there. And the more I did for him, the more I let him hurt me, the more I loved him, and the more I was, like, proving myself to him. So I was like, he found me as a...
This whole thing, she said that she's incriminating herself and herself only. That interview only proves that she was completely, that she was crazy, and letting him do these things to her, which we don't know what the things are, right? Because she was so scared of him finding somebody else. She said it right there on the interview. It's her fault, right? Okay, let's pretend for a minute that this was a bondage fetish, a bondage relationship. Let's pretend. Then she said it right there on the video that she was on it, and she didn't leave the relationship because she didn't want him to find somebody else. So when they go to court, if they go to court against her for defamation, his lawyer or whatever, they need to pull up this interview and go like, right there, she said it. It was about love. It was not about violence. She didn't want him to find somebody else. So she was still in the relationship, even if it felt abusive. One thing is something being abusive. Another thing is something that is felt, that it feels abusive. That is a big, gigantic difference between, like I said right now, my boss abused me the time, and I guess it just, I sometimes I feel like my boss is abusing me, or sometimes what my boss does to me feels abusive. See the difference right there? It's a gigantic difference. I think she just said it right there on the video, that she was still in it because she was afraid of him finding somebody else, which eventually he did, thank God. So there you go. It's pure incrimination right there of her own self. Just admitting that she was so in love that she was letting him do things that we don't know what those things are, which let's leave it at the air. And then she chose that. She's so dumb. That's the dumbest interviews ever, because even Evan and Esme didn't say something so dumb like that. And the fact that she's like, well, from 20 to 200 times, and then she talks like, oh, well, if you're going to be a sociopath, a psychopath, then at least be original. That's not the way that anybody talks, women or men. But women or men that have been abused at all, sexually or otherwise, are you gonna be so cocky and so arrogant and talk like that? Oh, well, my abuser wants me to listen to his fucking song for 100 times, and I have to listen to it. And just like her, the positions were just really weird. Like it reeks to lies. Britney is breaking my heart. Whoopi sold that a long time ago. Yeah, I believe it might take a while, but I'm sure she will be set free along with Manson and Johnny. I can make, you want me to make a video on Britney just by itself? I will. I can dissect everything that she said. It's not that simple. Mm-mm. You know what's sad? That the way it's done in the corrupt state of California, because this is the reason Britney likes to go to Hawaii so much. You see on her Instagram, she's always going to Hawaii. It's because her conservatorship, it doesn't count in Hawaii. The state of Hawaii. It's not a coincidence that she keeps going to Hawaii. So California, as much as people want to believe that we are liberal and we're more open-minded, California is one of the most corrupt states when it comes to laws on mental health. Really bad. And it's sad because people can be in a conservatorship until they pass away. There's nowhere to prove that they are capable of things. There's many ways to prove that she is capable. But again, the dad can lie again and say that she's not. And then it's going to be, so it's not that simple. It's not like, oh, free her. No. Something that's been on place for so long, for 13 years on somebody's head, it's not going to be lifted. That's not how the law works. And that's not how mental health in court works. It's going to be little by little. And I'm sorry to say that because I want her to be completely free, but it's not going to happen. It's going to happen little by little. It can't happen. It's not, it defeats the whole purpose of the conservatorship to say, well, she's not crazy anymore or whatever she was, delusional, demented, disturbed. So now we're going to lift the whole thing. No judge will do that. They're going to take some restrictions. They're going to take some. They're going to slow down the control, but they cannot lift the whole thing. That's not how it works. I don't know any case. I mean, I looked that up, and usually what happens is little by little, it's gradual. It's not something that is from Monday to Tuesday, which is what the Britney fans want. And I want the same thing for her, but I don't think it's going to happen so fast. I think she's on her way to be free, but it's very corrupted. The doctors are corrupted. The judge is being a woman. I don't understand how she doesn't even understand the meaning of, like, just want to get married and have a baby. How can a woman doesn't get that from another woman? Like, doesn't understand it. It blows my mind. Okay, so with Ashley, there you have it. Just like, I'm done talking about the stupid Ashley. Yeah, I'd rather talk about Britney. Okay, so I'm going to go back to americansongwriter.com. Just go read it. I'm just going to put the link below because I know these things are hard to find. This one took me a little bit to find it because usually I don't go to americansongwriter.com. And American Songwriter, it's a website, but it's a magazine, but it's a website. She said that she was with him until 2013. And she said that he was trying to put her in a movie. So the human traffic her to put her in the movie. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just, they're making it so hard for him to be able to prove that he didn't. Because maybe he did. Maybe he did said to her, "Hey, I want you in a music video." And so he said that, but she's taking it to like 100, like 1,000%, like blowing it up like a freaking parachute. I don't think that he will give her a role on a movie. Being nobody knew her face before now. So what would he trust you with that? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. At least 2 interviews with Manson was very vanilla. Well, yeah, I don't think Manson is vanilla anymore. Or it was. But I think that everybody, even somebody like him, that you think that he has it all figured out because he's old enough to know himself, people, yeah, he's older than me. I mean, people experiment with things, and I don't think it's about being vanilla or being dark or being perverted. I think that he did experiment with a couple of things. I do believe that was true, but not to the extent of that. And not with all of them. That's the thing. This is what I believe. I think that he maybe did some type of bondage stuff with one of these women, with one, and probably with Esme Bianco. And then it went like that. And they all just taken from it, and now they're saying that we're all tied up. And I think, like you said, that he is vanilla, but I do think that he experimented a little bit with one of these chicks, not with all of them. No way. No way. No way. And then this whole conspiracy, I hate to use that word, but I see it in all the videos how when you're ganging on somebody, just like right now, we're here together talking, or I am talking badly about this woman. But I'm not doing it on secret. They did. They all got together after the email the Evan Rachel Wood ex-girlfriend sent. They all got together. They didn't get together on the courthouse. Okay. They didn't get together on TV, and they all went out of the closet at the same time, which that would be very effective. They did it in private. And that's called a conspiracy, period. That's called conspiracy. When there's more than 2 people, well, you can say it's gossip. It's also gossip, but when it comes to crime, like rape, why they didn't go to the police station all together? If it's about togetherness. Remember, like Ashley said, we found so much strength in numbers. Yeah, it's about numbers, isn't it? Isn't it a conspiracy? You're all sitting around in somebody's living room talking shit about the guy. It's a conspiracy too. But when you mix it with something criminal, it's like, come to our meetings, or we have Marilyn Manson Anonymous. I'm gonna name that title. I'm gonna make the next video is gonna be Marilyn Manson Anonymous. Like they have Alcoholic Anonymous and NAAA, Gamblers Anonymous. They have everything anonymous because it's supposed to be anonymous. You don't supposed to say the name of people because that doesn't become, then just becomes shady and dirty and corrupted. About the bondage, I do think that he did some of that. But still, like, it doesn't prove absolutely nothing. Like, I know people that do hang those from the ceiling and then what? Because this really, what's funny about Evan? Oh my God. Okay, my next thing is going to be on. Evan is the person that I have more fun talking about because there's so many interviews going all the way to 2007, where she talks about him and how she found freedom with him, and then there's interviews in 2015 where she talks about how he'd raised her in an artistic way and he was so supportive of her music. So there's so many interviews with Evan. I'm going to go back to Evan, my next video. I'm done with this Ashley person. Evan in a way is more interesting because there's more material with her. And there's so many interviews with Evan talking about how she was so much into the heart-shaped glasses and the Lolita and all that way before. So that's the whole thing. I mean, hopefully that's going to be a big ass point in court that Evan Richard Wood, she'd rather work with other men and be with other men. I'm putting that next. Not right now, because I know it's glitchy. It's glitchy. I know it is. So I'm gonna go. It's gonna be impossible to watch. I'm just gonna go on. Yeah. Well, I talk to you later. Whoever wants to talk to me, they can talk to me. It's all good. And we don't have to agree. Really, we don't. I have my opinions on what Manson did or what didn't. But again, it's just my opinion. It's not doesn't make it real. It's opinions. My son always says that he's smart. My son is 12 years old, right? And he says opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody has one and they're useless. You can quote him on that. Yeah, even a 12-year-old kid can understand. And then, of course, they don't know about this stuff, but they know what people are capable of, how people are capable of dirtying other people. Like they teach you that in school about how presidents and politicians went down just because one person started gossiping. So it's really easy to frame somebody. Really easy. It shouldn't be, but it's easy, especially if the women are framing a man. It's really easy. That's what I call this the witch hunt, but in reverse. Like, the witch is him and they're hunting him. Because it's just that's how it starts. How the real witch hunt started. One girl had a fit of hysteria, and she's having a seizure. No, she's not. They didn't know what a seizure was. So she's possessed. She might be a witch. And the person in the village next door goes like, "Oh, witch," and the other person goes like, "Oh yeah, she's a total witch." It's like all it is this massive hysteria that everybody has the same opinion. And to quote my son, opinions are like belly buttons. Useless. And everybody has one, right? For reals, let me seriously. So yeah, I mean, I can do a whole video on Brittany. I want to, but I feel like it might be too soon. I'm trying to wait. Her next court date is July 14. And I say her court date, like it's hers, but I have a feeling that she's not going to be part of it. They don't want her to be part of it ever again. So I don't know what's going to happen. Have you seen Celtic Iron yet? I know he's bad, but I can't help love his attitude. No, I haven't. Should I? Are you there? Should I watch it? I'm always up for adventure, Yeah, it's really sad because not only his manager dropped him after 25 years, but also he lost all those. He was doing really cool shit. Like I like the new album, but besides that, he was really doing cool acting stuff. And he always says that he want to be an actor, and he was doing cool shows. That's just really sad. Although, if you guys have Instagram, you can just go and follow Lindsay, which is actually Elizabeth Warner, because she took his last name. And if you follow her, you will see that she's not posting anything as an update, but she's liking other people's stuff. She's liking Courtney Love's picture. She's liking Billy Corgan. God bless his heart, really, because he has not. All those people that have not unfollowed him, they're real. There's so many idiots, like the guy from The Walking Dead. He unfollowed him. He probably just is believing all this shit. And Lee Warner is liking some stuff. So she is on Instagram. So she's watching. She's probably seeing everything that people do. All the not me, but like the big people that have like 10,000 followers, and they're Maryland Defenders, Maryland Manson Defenders. I Stand by Manson is another one. Many, oh my God, there's so many to count. And I love them. I message them all the time. And we go back and forth in private. And I think that she's watching his wife, and I think his wife might just be able to, give the word and be like, there's people out there that believe you, dude. Just like I believe him in the 90s, when I knew there was all bullshit. But going back to Rose, if anybody has something bad to say about Rose, it's okay. We can talk about it, but I'm going to make my point on defending Rose McGowan, because my point is a real point. When I said that she's such a controversial person, so if she has any type of bombshell on him, she would already dropped it by now. She hasn't. She's being quiet. She made that little video, and that's it. There's nothing to say. I don't know what you're talking about. You gotta tell me more. Okay, I'm gonna go because it's glitchy, so I'm sorry. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna do something about this hair. That's for sure. All right, thank you for watching, and then I'll be back with Evan, because she's so much more fun. She's so much more fun. I love just reading her interviews when she was only 20 years old, and she sounded like a freaking 12-year-old. It's just so stupid. Talking about being homeschooled and how that didn't give her a sense of responsibility because she was homeschooled, so she didn't know any social cues. And it's like, whatever, dude. Like, seriously, Evan saying she didn't know about drugs is like such a laughable thing, because she was working in Hollywood since she was 10 years old. You working on set, you know about drugs. You know what drugs are. What the hell is going on? The 3-4 conspiracy manufacture evidence against a much loved man. No, they don't even have to manufacture. That's what's messed up. They don't have to manufacture any evidence. You testimony, evidence. Mm-hmm. Just like Amber with Johnny. This is no difference. I mean, the difference is, well, I guess this is worse. This is worse because, rape is a bit of it's way bigger crime than what Johnny's accused of. But it's worse. This one's worse. But yeah, and she still, Amber Heard still thinks that she did the right thing. You saw her on Instagram with her new baby. I have kids. Had 2 kids, and without giving too much information, I have my kids. I was pregnant for 9 months, and I had them. So I'm not hating on people that are adopted. Many of my friends are adopted, and they have awesome parents, because they're awesome. They're adopted. It's like they're choosing you, so they're going to be awesome to you. But Amber is not the case. Especially when she said that she changed her mind 4 years ago. I'm like, ooh, who she was with 4 years ago? Oh, with Elon Musk. Those are the most expensive babies ever. Like, you should just make babies with him. Not in a physical way, in a more scientific way. Not, you know what I mean. And she posted on Instagram a very low blow to Johnny on her Instagram, because there's a picture of Amber with the baby. I'm not going to hate on the baby, beautiful baby. You're not going to get me to talk bad about a baby, okay? So she's holding the baby. It's a baby girl. Pretty baby girl, it's not her fault. Look who her mom is, seriously. And the caption says, I decided 4 years ago I wanted to do this on my own terms, because she's such a feminist, on her own terms. She's such a feminist. That's why she gets she gets to manufacture the eggs from the guy that has more money in the whole universe, because she's such a feminist. If you're a feminist, what would it matter where you're getting the baby from? You know what I mean? You can get it from adoption agency, you can get it from the church, you get it from an orphanage. It would be good, right? Because it's your baby. Would it be good no matter what? No, but you got it from the richest person. So yeah, that's very feminist of you. So anyway, so she said, I decided to do it on my own terms. And then she says, you don't have to have a ring in your finger to have a crib. Okay, I agree. I never got married to the person I had kids with. So I agree that you don't have to get married to have a crib. But on her case, knowing that her ex-husband is this big person that everybody loves and likes as Johnny, is a big of a low blow that that she put, you don't have to be married. Yeah. Of course you have to be married because you're not married. You got $7 million out of not being married. So of course you're gonna say you don't have to. It's such a feminist, such a punk rock, such an activist thing to do, to adopt to not adopt it, to have a baby that was produced with the billionaire of the world, Musk. I think so. I mean, it kind of makes sense. She hasn't denied it. Okay, so I'm gonna go because it's 120 minutes. It's glitchy. It's telling me my connection is unstable, so I'm gonna go for what YouTube is telling me. I guess. Okay, I'm done with Ashley for now until she starts making new bullshit up. But I'm gonna go back to the root of all the problems. Because if it wasn't for her, for Evan, we would not have any of this stuff. It will be like once in a while some type of weird accusation that it will be brushed off. But this level of just copy and paste and just everybody on the same page and everybody saying the same thing with different names and different scenarios, but pretty much everything is the same. Now I really want to ask Ashley, what is up with that? It was 210 to 2012 or 210 to 2013. And when was the whole thing about him offering you a role in a movie? That's a big part of information. Why she didn't say that in May? Strange. Yeah, and he R-A-B-A date. He did the R word on you 200 times. I understand the trauma. I understand that some people, it's like when somebody die. Some people, when somebody die, they just laugh. I'm one of those weirdos that if I go to a serious situation, I start like laughing. I have this in the movie The Joker. He has a laughing issue. I have that. So if I'm in an odd situation and it's awkward, like people are crying because something happened, I just get like that. And it's just, what I'm saying is everybody has a different way to grieve, a different way to love, a different way to get hurt. So I'm not saying that you have to be sobbing on the floor in order to prove to me or to anybody that you got raped. But the fact that she's so arrogant and the way how she talks about him is very cocky, is very insulting. You're supposed to be scared of this guy, That's my dear. I was so happy to see you live. Oh, why do you schedule? I'm not a schedule anything. I really don't schedule anything. It's Thursday night here, so my work week ends on Thursday, and I have Friday off. So this is kind of why I'm doing this now. I'm kind of like, okay, well, I can stay up at night. It's almost 11 p.m. here. So I don't do schedule. You want me to do a schedule? I could. I keep forgetting to schedule stuff. Like I could schedule it. Like I didn't even put makeup on to be on this thing today. I kind of wanted to just say hi and then kind of be done with her because I really don't have any more on her. Who support giant corporations? Oh, yeah. The music industry, Hollywood. Yeah, the law. Amber has told us we don't need fathers and kids, don't need them. I know, right? She's pretty much saying that. And it's really messed up because she is like a daddy's girl. She always talks about her dad. It's kind of low blow to her dad, too, for her to say, well, we don't need fathers. I'm saying, well, you don't need yours? Like, I know the guy's an asshole, but still. Yeah, she's pretty much, you have a really good point there. I didn't think about that. She's telling you that you don't need husbands or boyfriends to have a baby, but also she's kind of degrading her own father in a way. Good point, because I didn't think about that until now. Yes, it's really when it comes to it, some people should be examined psychologically before they have children or adopt. You don't have to have a kid physiologically to have a kid. You can go adopt, but you should be tested You know what I mean? Drug test, alcohol test, psychological testing, because it's a child. It's not a joke. It's not a horse. She's trained like it's a freaking pet or something. And of course, she posts a picture on Instagram that is completely staged. And she looks beautiful. She's beautiful. She's evil, but she's pretty. And she's just the picture is so staged. It's not a typical picture of somebody holding a baby. It's so staged. It's almost like Beyonce and her daughter. And it's like, oh, just so it's so phony. And you're right. It's a low blow to her own father. I'm not saying you have to be married. I did not marry the person I kissed with, but I was with him. You know, I would never say like don't need men. I mean, yeah, you kind of do, and it's like they might be bad to you maybe in the long run, and then you can break up with them. But yeah, you need them, and that's the truth. She did that caption just to. I don't think she thought what you just said. I don't think she thought, oh, this caption is gonna get my dad mad. I think that she did it just to get all of us upset, including Johnny, because it's a low blow. It's like, look, I'm not married anymore, and now I can have a kid. It's just. But my point is that if you really want to do it, you do it. You don't wait until you have an embryo with with the most loaded millionaire person in America, or all over. Oh my God, I'm going over. It's like 1:27. It's almost 11 o'clock here. Okay, bye. I'm like, okay, bye. That's how I end things very quickly. That not quickly, but like, you want me to schedule? No, I'm just gonna So I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do something after this, and then I'm gonna do something tomorrow because it's almost no light in here. So I'm gonna have date. It's gonna look better, and then it's gonna be on Evan. So if you want to talk about Evan Richard Wood, come back. This is what we're gonna do. I have like old interviews from her. There's also an interview somebody sent me a link um, of Evan and Manson in some art gallery in Germany or something back in the days. And the interview, he's so polite, and he talks about how much of a good actress she is, and because at the time she was in True Blood, the show, and she was so nice to him, and she's saying he's so like I mean, like everything was just so beautiful between them two. It's really sad, whatever happened. I don't think what happened is what she said happened, but something bad happened that I don't know what it is. But yeah, there's plenty of videos of her and interviews of her saying everything, just thanking him for a lot. And it's really sad. There's also a video of him that I have somewhere on my list of him talking about her. Not the one that he said that he wants to kill her, not the one that he says that he felt alone and the only person he had with him was his girlfriend Evan. And it's so sad to watch that and that she just backstabbed him just so badly. And what's the reason? I just keep thinking, what do you think the reason is? Because the reason is not money. No. Evan is the one that is not asking for money. She doesn't have a lawsuit. Evan is the one that opened this so the other ones can have a lawsuit. So where is the reason behind this whole thing? Besides jealousy and damages and money. And like right there, that video that I play of Ashley, she's so dumb. She should have never said that she said, oh, this is my phone. It has a bunch of glitter on it. My daughter picked the case. Yeah. No, I'm a goth person stuck with a glittery pink phone. I'm not a goth. You know what I mean? This is ridiculous. Um. Anyway, I'm tired. Good night. Thank you.